Good morning and welcome. Morning. It's a very intimate service. Feel free to move forward. I'm the Reverend Natalie Fenimore, and along with the Reverends Jennifer Brower, who's on sabbatical, and the Reverend Ned White, who is recovering from surgery, and our ministerial intern, Nancy Reed McKee, I serve this congregation as minister. This morning, it's a little unusual in that it's the beginning of a long day of worship and celebration. This is our regular 11 o'clock service, and we will have two other services this evening for Christmas Eve at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. You are welcome to come again and join us as we celebrate more. We warmly welcome all the newcomers with us today and invite you to the UU Café that immediately follows this service in the social hall. For first-time visitors, please go to the welcome desk out in the lobby for a gold complimentary lunch card. If you'd like to know more information about this congregation and would like to be on our mailing list, please fill out the blue newcomer card, which is in your pew pocket or at the welcome desk, and offer it to the ushers. You could put it in the plate when it passes, or in the newcomer box that's at the welcome desk. I have another important message, which you will see in more detail in your order of service. Pledges, financial pledges of support for this congregation and initial payments for this congregational year must be submitted before January 1st, 2018, actually on December 31st, 2018. So unless you've received a waiver for that. There are pledge envelopes which look like this in the pew pockets and at the welcome desk. Please fill them out. It is necessary that you do two things. It's a little complicated in that you must pledge, which is filling out this form saying how much you would like to support this congregation financially, have signed the membership book to be a member, and put a payment for the pledge, so any amount initially in this envelope. And that completes the membership process for you. If you have any questions, please call the finance office at 516-627-6536, although that will be difficult to do Monday and Tuesday because this building is closed. As I said, we have our December 31st worship service, also our usual 11 o'clock service, New Year's worship service, which Nancy will be leading. In lieu of our usual minister's New Year's reception on the 1st, we will have our reception as part of the UU Café after the service on the 31st, because this building will be closed on the 1st and the 2nd, so that our staff will be able to enjoy the holiday. So, that being said, I ask you to take some time after the service to look over the order of service to see all the wonderful things, all the activities and events that you can participate in the coming weeks. And I invite you to make your time at Shelter Rock part of your New Year plans. And now, as is our custom, I invite you to greet your neighbor. words are from Ernest Summerfield, edited by me. Why do we celebrate Christmas? It's often hard for religious liberals to come up with an answer to that question. Summerfield says we do it because we believe in the songs which are born in the hearts and minds of people, because we believe that some stories deserve to live forever because of what they tell us about ourselves. The angels singing an anthem of peace and goodwill deserve to be heard forever because they are angels in the human heart. The humble shepherds who had ears to hear and hearts to receive a message of joy deserve to live to the end of time. The wise men, so faithfully seeking the way of a star, deserve to go in search again each year, as long as years shall be, for they are the story of our quest for ourselves. We will now light the Advent wreath.
In the weeks of the Advent season, the weeks of waiting, we have remembered patience. We have looked to light to dispel darkness. We have pledged to be, do, and seek peace. This week, we remember the foundation of all these things, love. In this holiday season, throughout the year to come, and always in our lives, may we know we are loved. May we share the love we have, and may we be the love we wish to see. And now we'll light our chalice. We light our chalice with the words of Lisa Friedman. We touch the floor to remember wherever we bring our best self is holy ground. We reach for the sky to remember that we are part of a mystery much bigger than ourselves. We hold hands to remember that we need one another and are part of one human family. We join voices to remember that we each have a gift to offer the world and to use in making the world a better place. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 226, People Look East. Please remain standing, and we will recite the words of our affirmation in the order of service. We light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. This is a faith of the open mind. This is a faith. This is not the words of affirmation. That was a different service they were. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm and covenant with each other.
Please be seated. In the spirit of this day, where we celebrate the birth of a child, I would like to light a candle for the children who have been born this year to this congregation. It is by these children and grandchildren that our families are renewed, that the world is renewed, that this congregation and our faith is forever renewed. So, it is winter. When you think about winter, what words come to mind? Call them out. Cold. 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 Dark. Snow. New beginning. Candles. Snowballs. Snowman. Frostman. Hot chocolate. Sleigh. Okay, so much. There is so much variety in winter. It can be a time to play, sledding and snowballs and the like. At least it can be a time to play if you don't mind being cold. You can ski or play hockey or have a snowball fight or go sledding down our smooth hill right behind this worship room, right here at Shelter Rock. You can watch the geese land on the pond, find there is no water, and go elsewhere. And Santa loves the winter, with snow that's just right for his sled, and the reindeer have all the fur they need to stay warm. When I was a kid growing up in Michigan, we talked about having only 2 seasons, winter and preparation for winter. It got very, very, very cold. And there was an unbelievable amount of snow. Sometimes the plows would run out of places to put them, and they would dump them on top of the frozen river. There was so much snow that there was this urban myth about the children, very small, who got lost in the enormous piles of snow that lasted on the streets seemingly forever. I don't know if we ever found those children. Winter can be long and deep. It's also a time for slowing down. We can go inside and we can huddle together for warmth and company. In ancient times, this was when the stories were told. After the hard work outside and the harvest brought in, to sit and tell the stories that gave meaning to your life. To make a fire in the fireplace, to have hot chocolate, the smell of evergreens inside. We can make a time to slow down, a time to reflect. And that time is important. It's something that we don't rush through, we don't push away, we shouldn't overlook. As Greta Crosby writes, let us not wish away the winter. It is a season to itself, not simply a way to spring. When the trees rest, growing no leaves, gathering no light, they do let in the sky and trace themselves delicately across the dawn, showing us the sunset. The clarity and brilliance of the winter sky can delight you in its own unique way. And the fog that comes up in the winter morning softens the edges. It lulls the eyes and ears to the quiet. It awakens us to risk being quiet. A low, dark sky can snow, can be an emblem of our individuality, like the individuality of each snowflake. And how each delicate little thing becomes so powerful when joined together. Think of all of the shoveling you have ever done. Snow invites us to contemplate and invites us to sports. Winter is a table set with ice and sunlight. Winter dark tends to warm light, fire and candle. Winter cold invites us to hugs and huddles. Winter wants us to give gifts, to share. And winter is also a danger. It invites us to plan, to vision, to be together in our common endeavor. Again, snow shoveling. And to understand how fragile things can be, our narrow escapes, the sliding car that rights itself. Winter tedium invites us to make merry. Let us therefore praise winter, rich in beauty and in challenge. And yes, winter also gives us the promise of spring and rebirth. Even in the midst of bare trees in the woods, there is the specialness of the evergreen tree. Long ago, the wonder of this winter green caught the human eye, this symbol of the tree of life, the evergreen, as a garland or wreath or a tree has been dragged from the woods to decorate the winter homes of people since ancient times by the Chinese, the Egyptians, the Romans. And in ancient times, even the fierce Vikings thought that the evergreen was a special tree of the sun god Baltar. And in the 1800s, Germans began the tradition of adding decorated evergreen trees as part of their Christmas celebrations. And today, we continue this tradition. For the Christmas tree is a symbol of life that is all around us, even in the midst of winter. A symbol of the hope that all around us is life, is hope, even in our darkness, even in our sadness, even in our aloneness. This symbol of the light that we can all be for one another.
Great. We will now receive an offering for the life and work of our congregation. If you have brought your Unitarian Universalist Service Committee guest at your table boxes with you today, you may come up and put them under the tree up here on the chancel. Will the ushers please come forward? For so the children come, and so they have been coming, always in the same way. They come born of the seed of man and woman. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show them where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Fathers and mothers sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end, or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. And now I invite you to light a candle and out of joy or sorrow, memory or hope in one of our candle boxes. Please come forward.
to sit for a moment, bathed in the light of our candles of joy and sorrow, memory and hope. Today we hold many emotions as we gather together. The excitement of waiting is in the room. Waiting for friends and family to come together, waiting for a special meal, waiting for gifts, waiting for Santa. Today, we are also holding many memories. For some of us will not see friends and family and loved ones, and we will miss them. In this community of love and care, we are asked to bring all these things, our joy and our sorrow, our memories and our hopes, knowing that this place is big enough to hold it all, knowing that we can grow hearts and souls and minds big enough to hold it all. So often we are asked to be something that is not our true self. We hope that we can come together here and be our true selves, not asked to be less joyful or less sad, to be all that we are in this moment together. The Christmas story, whether we believe it to be true or not, holds in it this truth, that once there was born a child, and that child's life touched others, and the love that was shared lived on. And so it is for each of us to be born a child, to touch others with our love, and to live on through that love forever. We celebrate that tonight, the beginning of one life, knowing that we too have a life and a love to give to the world. Our candles shine with the lives and loves who we have known and who we are part of. It is always so. May it be. I invite you to stand in body or spirit for hymn number 239, Go Tell It on the Mountain. this is the season of miracles. We light candles for Hanukkah and the solstice, and we light candles for Christmas, not just to remember, but to ask again and again as we reenact the rituals of the holidays, to ask us to learn to actually believe in the possibility of miracles. But it can, of course, be hard for us to believe in this possibility. It can be hard to believe in something we do not understand, for that is what's about a miracle if we don't understand it. It can be hard to believe in something that we cannot believe to be real. It's hard to believe in something we can't hold in our hands solid like a stone, or explain or reproduce in an experiment. But is it not the case that peace and joy and caring and love are the miracles in our lives? These are things that we cannot often explain. These are things we can't hold as a solid thing in our hands. But they are miracles that we need, that we want to believe in. So we bring candles and bright lights into our lives to help us to believe in these possibilities. We listen to special music. We hope to rub against the magic of children's imaginings, to renew our ability to believe in miracles, our ability to hope. Even when the everyday world can make this belief in miracles a real struggle. It can be difficult to believe in peace and joy and love when the shopping malls are full of wild and crazy people, and the streets are full of rude drivers honking loudly every minute. When people say happy holidays 1 minute and then turn seemingly in the same minute to cut you off at the corner, or to push you out of the way in the line, or to grab the last whatever it is that you thought you were next up to get. It's hard in this moment to hold both these things and to be asked to believe in the good. People are not always wonderful. Their hearts not always big and full. And yet, still, we are asked to believe anyway. And belief is possible because underneath it all, from time to time, there are the signs that this season points us to. Belief is possible because of the joy of children. Belief is possible because there is occasionally and miraculously the kindness of strangers. Sometimes someone does let you take that last parking space. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I see you only have 1 or 2 things. You can go in front of me in the line." Sometimes someone does get up and offer a seat to an elder or a person with a disability on the train. Sometimes someone grabs your arm just as you're about to slide on the ice. Sometimes. And sometimes that's enough to renew your faith in all of humankind. Sometimes there are strangers like the innkeeper who offers a place in a stable for a family cold and alone, a mother about to give birth. Miracles are possible because we can make them real. A belief in miracles is a call to our own best selves. As these words of Gwen Matthews reminds us, on December days, We welcome in the gift of reflection. Return toward our holiday celebrations and search for common threads of meaning. We begin with Yule, the winter solstice, and we are invited to explore duality, cycles, seasons, and to witness the Holly King overcome the Oak King. Yule reminds us that we partake in a miracle of renewal. And Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, commemorates a time of miracles when the faith of the Jewish people sustained them to reclaim their holy temple and keep the light of the menorah burning for 8 days. Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' humble birth in a manger, offers us a time to revisit the miracle of birth and the desire to find saviors to heal the scars of humanity. And here in our own congregation, you are just as much a holiday miracle as the turning of the earth, as the persistence and dedication to a faith, as the creation of each new life. We see the love that you give to others, the space that you create to hold one another's joys and sorrows, and the generosity and spirit you entrust in this your community. So you see, you are the true holiday miracle. This community is one of miracle makers. That is what we are called to remember this day and every day, that the miracles to be made must be made by us. So, as we reflect on miracles, there is a tradition that says that on Christmas Eve, there is this miracle of animals talking. Can you believe that? Do you believe that? Yes, of course. So we're going to tell a story of animals talking. Who is coming to our house? Who is coming to our house? Someone says mouse. Make room, says pig. I will butt aside the rig. We must clean, says lamb. Dust the beams, says ram. Who is coming to our house? Someone, says mouse. Sweep the earth, says chick. Stack the hay, says goose, and quick. Spin new web, says spider. I will line the crib with eider. Who is coming to our house? Someone, says mouse. Someone's coming from afar. I will nose the door ajar. But it is dark, says cat. They will never come, says rat. Yes, they'll come, says mouse. Someone's coming to this house. I will lay an egg, says hen. I will will spread my tail for them. Who's coming to our house? Mary and Joseph, whispers Mouse. Welcome, welcome to our house. The winter can be so dark, unless, of course, there is the bright and shining snow. Winter comes with its cold days and long nights and muted sun. And sometimes we are afraid of the dark. We are worried about what we cannot see, what might be there to harm us, what is unknown and strange out there. So we may whistle into the dark to announce our presence and to show our strength, at least to try to prove our strength to ourselves. So we light candles to bring the light to dark places, shining a light, exploring and making sure of ourselves, our knowledge of everything around us. We hope to illuminate and to be illuminated. We don't want to be in the dark. We don't want to feel sad or lonely or left out, but we are sad and lonely, and sometimes we do feel left out. This personal darkness, like the darkness of the earth, is a reality, a true state of being. It is not something to be hidden or denied, for we have all been in the dark, or at least we will be at some time. And we can be there together, supporting one another. Let us join with those in our community who are feeling a sadness and sit with them as needed, asking nothing but to be a caring friend. Let us dispel loneliness wherever we can. And may we recognize that we can learn and grow and get strength and nourishment even in the darkness. We can be like plants under the ground in winter, getting ready to come out into the light in the spring. And we can dedicate ourselves to what it is that gives us light and what makes of us ourselves a glowing, light-filled self. The songs and the scents and the beliefs of this season may be one of the things that nourishes you, that gives you light, which you then reflect. These things may be a way that you can find yourself to the commitments that you want to make, the commitments to be a light, the commitment to help others throughout the year, a way to grow yourselves personally into what you want to be. And yes, when we care for one another, we also come together into the light. We are the renewal and the rebirth which we seek. So let us celebrate and rejoice that we are this gift to the world, this gift to one another. Let us celebrate and rejoice. Please stand in body or spirit for hymn number 251, Silent Night.
The first time would like to sing the first verse in German, just for you guys to hear it, and then everyone jumps in from the English stuff 1 to 3. Sounds good?
Yes.
Heilige Nacht,
these closing words from the Unitarian Charles Dickens. We celebrate Christmas once again. God bless it. Let us be by one consent open our shut-up hearts and think of people as if they were fellow passengers to the grave. Let Christmas be once more a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. May we keep our Christmas humor to the last. It is required of everyone that the spirit within us should walk abroad among human neighbors and travel far and wide. The common welfare is our business. Charity, mercy, forbearance is all our business. Let us go forth while we can and turn human misery into good. The year is waning fast, and it is a precious time to us. We have the power to render others happy or unhappy. We have the power to make their days light or burdensome, and their work a pleasure or a toil. Our power lies in words and looks, in small things that it is impossible to count or to add up. The happiness we give is no small matter. A good word is worth a fortune. Let no idol displace love, even a golden one. Let us carry the torch of goodwill, and the light may banish hate. Let us honor Christmas in our hearts and keep it all year. A Merry Christmas to everyone. A Happy New Year to all the world. God bless us, every one.